Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We are back after a weekend break. More Newcastle United news. 3 big questions I'm going to try and answer today. First one, will Newcastle versus Bournemouth be on this week? Second one, if the game is on this week, is it possible that Bruno, Saint-Maximin and Callum Wilson will be back for that game? And third question, has Loris Karius signed for Newcastle United? So we're going to answer all of that in this video today. As well as if you're new around here, make sure you get down there, hit that subscribe button now. Big video planned this week. I'm not going to tell you much about it yet, but I mean, just subscribe. You'll see it before the Saturday game. So listen, there'll be a video on the channel before the Saturday game. That'll be a very good watch. So there you are, there's a little heads up there. As well as you can also get down there, smash the like button. And finally, question of the day. This is your question here. Do you think the game's going to be on Saturday? Now, I'm going to show you lots of evidence today and I'm going to give you my honest thoughts on it. But yeah, that's it for me. Without further ado, let's get into all the news now. First off, let's get Loris Karius out of the way first. So he came in and did his medical for Newcastle United on the day of the Queen's death. So he came in on the Thursday morning. And as far as I'm aware, he completed his medical. I believe he is now a Newcastle United player. There hasn't been anywhere on social media that said he's failed his medical. So from my impression, he has passed his medical. And it's just a case of when the club wants to announce it. Now, the problem now being that when you saw for the women's game, for example, on the Thursday night, the club outright refused to even post anything about the game live during the match. So the club seems to be really protective of what they want to put out in the time of morning. So yeah, for now, it's a bit of a waiting game. But as far as I'm aware, Newcastle United have signed Karius. All he had to do was his medical. And there's nobody out there that said he's failed his medical. So for me, he has passed it and he will be available as a second choice if the game is on Saturday. We'll talk about that just shortly. But yeah, again, quite a mixed sign. But Karius is not supposed to start for us at all. He's been brought in as a short-term player and he's just here to come in for the injured Doro. He's just there in case Nick Pope gets injured. He's not supposed to play. He might get an odd cup game, but he is not supposed to start for Newcastle at all. He is just there if another player gets injured. If Nick Pope gets injured, that's when he goes in. That's all he's here for. So for me, yeah, I've got no problems whatsoever. Now, I know he has a massive confidence dip from the Champions League final, but listen, he has another chance at Newcastle United. Can he return to his former glory? That's the question. But yeah, as far as I'm aware, Loris Karius has signed for the club. As for that game on Saturday, though, will Newcastle United be playing Bournemouth this week, or will it be another match of postponement? Now, we already saw from the West Ham game that every Premier League match was took off from last weekend to respect the Queen, which got a bit of backlash because, for example, the cricket and the rugby were actually on the weekend, but the football decided not to be on. So essentially, each sport has a choice whether they want the games to be on or not. But with this week now, the Queen's funeral was on the Monday, so it doesn't conflict with the weekend. Will the matches be on? Right, we've got evidence to suggest that it probably is going to be on. For example, the EFL is resuming from tomorrow. The Scottish League and the Welsh League is returning as well. It's on a game-by-game basis on those leagues. So essentially, the games that are on, but some games will be off depending on the policing laws. So for example, if a game at the weekend is down in London, it's likely that the London games will be off because, well, the police have to be sorted for Monday because you've got all the world leaders coming over to mourn the death of the Queen. So I think the games in London will be off, or any big derbies as well. So if there's a massive derby somewhere, I think the huge games where it requires hundreds of police officers, I think those games will be off. But Newcastle's game against Bournemouth on Saturday, I think will be on. I think some Premier League games will be on this week. That's how I think the Premier League is going to do it. And in this case, Newcastle versus Bournemouth, it's a nice, easy game to get out of the way for the police. There's no issues there at all. Newcastle is situated in the north. It's got nothing to do with London. For me, I believe the game will be on Saturday. It just depends. I think some games will be on. I think some games will be off. That's how I think the Premier League is going to personally do it. So keep that in mind. Nothing is official yet, but we've seen from the EFL that they are resuming the game. So you've got to think that the Premier League is going to follow suit. I mean, why would they go against the other leagues? It doesn't make any sense. But for me, they're going to follow what the EFL has done and they're going to pick what games are going to be on, what games are going to be off. So it's a bit crappy we live down south, but obviously in this time of morning, it's understandable. So I believe the Newcastle game will be on Saturday, but I don't believe some of the other games will be on. So yeah, Chelsea, Arsenal, those sort of matches, I expect to be off. So that's just my personal opinion on that. But yeah, for now, I believe the game will be on. Let's go through all of the injured players now. Will we see any of them play this week if the game is on? So First off, we will get Callum Wilson out of the way first, because once again, I think it's one game too early for him. I think the fact that next week is the international break, I believe those 2 weeks he has to recover, that's when the club is going to look like, listen, that's 2 huge weeks, let's get him in the gym, let's get him training properly, and then we'll see in 2 weeks' time whether he can play or not. Again, with the sign of Isak now, there's just no reason to rush him in. I mean, we've got all the time in the world to bring Callum Wilson back. I've got no concerns whatsoever whether he can play or not, because we've got a £60 million strike up front. That's not the issue. So, yeah, take your time from it. I've got no issues with it whatsoever. We'll see what happens when he come back in. I've seen some reports claim that they could potentially play 2 strikers. Will Eddie Howe change the formation? I'm not too sure on that one, to be honest, but I think he won't return this week. I think the next match in 2 weeks' time is when he will actually be on the bench. So, yeah, not this week, but I think next game. Now, on to the second one now, we get Bruno as well. So, when I did my club shop vlog where all the players did the meet and greet, Bruno did an interview for NUFC TV when he said in the interview that he wasn't sure whether he could return for the West Ham game or not. Now, you've got to remember as well, that is a Newcastle United interview. I can't see why the club would tell West Ham that, listen, Bruno can play this week. They wouldn't do that at all. So, I think in that case, it was just playing up to the media, essentially. I believe he was fit for the West Ham game. I stand by that. If the game was on that Sunday, Bruno could have played. I think he's fit now. I think he's ready to go. He looked fine. His mobility looked fine when I saw him last week. So, yeah, I think he's more or less ready to go. I think that interview did for NUFC, I mean, you can't say I'm not going to tell West Ham that he's fit to play. It's just that simple, really. So, I believe he's fine. I think he will play on Saturday again if the game is on. So, he's one to watch out for. And obviously, against Bournemouth, he's a key player to have in the squad. And finally, last but not least, Saint-Maximin now. He's a bit quieter. I said in my video last week that I did think he was going to return for the West Ham game, but I think the day after that video came out, he actually went over to Monaco to do some scans. Now, I remember last time he went to Monaco in the previous season, he missed the game when he returned. So, he, obviously, by the time he comes back from Monaco, he wasn't able to train in time. So, he's a bit trickier. I think he will be fine for this week. I was convinced at the time that he was going to play against West Ham, but that one became a bit more doubtful. I think now, though, he'll be ready for Saturday. You saw me his new fresh trim. I mean, he's back, he's ready to go. I don't think there's any issues with him whatsoever. So, whether he starts or not is another question, but I think he will be sound on Saturday. Again, I think he'll be ready to go. So, yeah, 2 big players out of the way there. And as for Saint-Maximin, actually, a quick one about him. So, if you remember a month ago, I think it was now, where I did my Met with Centre vlog. So Helios last night actually stuck on their YouTube video of it. So Saint-Maximin's YouTube channel, I suppose you can put it that way. So he put out his video yesterday from the Met with Centre. Really good watch. You can see up front Saint-Maximin just giving all the kids the toys and that. Just iconic. It is iconic, that video. So make sure I go check it out when you get a chance. Obviously subscribe to the Helios channel. But yeah, as for those players, I've just said it there. Summarize it again. I think Saint-Maximin and Bruno are fine, and I think Callum Wilson will miss this week. And finally, with the death of the Queen, we will quickly get through our changes now for the club, or what you expect, really. So, a bit in the women's team as well. So, essentially, this week they were supposed to play a home game at Kingston Park, but instead now they're playing an FA Cup game, which we were supposed to play last Sunday away to Lincoln. So, I'm pretty sure I can make that game, so I will be down there. That game is on. It said it's going to be on, so I can't see it changing minds. So, as far as I'm aware, that game is 100% going to happen. So that Lincoln one next week is going to be a very good one, FA Cup game. Who doesn't love a cup game? So, yeah, I should be down there. I'm pretty sure I'm fighting for that one. So, yeah, I'll see you guys there. I suppose I'll see you in the vlog even. As for the rest of the club now, that's about it, really. I still expect the media pages to be quite quiet. Nothing's really coming out. We saw it today with Wolves, for example. They actually announced the signing of Diego Costa, a really good video as well. So I expect a Carrius video or pitch or whatnot to come out at some point. It's just whether the club wants to do it. They really are respectful towards the Queen. The owners especially, I know Murder has met the Queen quite a few times as well. So obviously that was a big loss for them. So yeah, for now, things are quite quiet. You just got to be patient. Once everything is done, we will be back on track as same the monarchy and everything in the UK. So yeah, it's just a time of grievance. It's a time of mourning. Once the time is sorted, we'll be back on track. It's just one of them guys where you got to be patient, obviously, and be respectful as well. But yeah, that's about it for me. That's pretty much all I got to say today. As far as I'm aware, the game will be on Saturday. Some of the players will be back, and Carrius is signed for Newcastle. So unless anything drastic comes out, I can't see why any of those things wouldn't happen. So there we are. I hope you enjoyed watching the video. Let me know your thoughts down below. And yeah, without further ado guys, I'll see you all in the next one.